So I want to share some thoughts around attachment. And more specifically, I am talking about attaching some kind of thing, equipment, a specific schedule, a specific time of the day, a specific weather, that kind of decides whether you are going to train or not. And so I had this situation arise today where I decided to not do my stick fighting class because my forearms are way too beaten up after a few weeks of working really hard on the stick fighting and the handstands. And so I decided that it is going to be really beneficial for me to take a break. And so I therefore decided to not do the class tonight. And then the second question was, okay, well, I still need to work on my cardio, and it would be very beneficial to keep up a couple of sessions of cardio kind of training per week to keep that momentum and continuing to make it a bit easier during stick fighting class and all the other stuff. And so because I don't particularly like doing cardio so much, I procrastinated, and it got to a point where I felt like, okay, unless I go out and train very soon, I will have to eat again, and then I would have to wait another couple of hours to get out there. And so my strategy for this is to simply just decide, okay, I am going to do something, but I'm not putting any pressure on me. Okay, I have to do X, Y, Z if I go out or if I do this session. Because I've done that so many times before where I am setting up these grand ideas and program and that sort of thing in relation to cardio, which is already difficult for me to get done. And so I end up being really disappointed in the performance or the session, or maybe I don't even do it because there is just too much pressure on. And so I decide I'm just going to do something. That's the first thing. The second thing is, without thinking too much about it, I go and change. So I've got my training clothes on, and then I go down on the floor and I do my first breathing exercise, and then it kind of ends up rolling from there. And then the next thing that is happening in this is after the warm-up, which was quite minimal today, but still enough, I went outside because it is one of the trickier things is when you don't take that step outside the door. But once you're outside, and I love being in nature, I love the forest, just love being outside. So for me, coming outside into foresty path, I already then feel like, I just want to run around a little bit, and I just want to jump on, fallen trees or rocks or whatever it is. And so because I allow myself to just do something, I kind of allow myself to slowly start and get into it, and then suddenly I've done a fair bit. And so to bring it back to the attachment thing is that very, very often I find that for myself, and I hear it all the time with students also, we kind of attach things to make sure that we are doing the training. So like I said in the beginning, it could be that one of my clients actually said in a check-in email earlier today, she was like, I don't tend to get my steps in that often when it's like cold and rainy and dark and that sort of thing, because it's just not as fun to be outside walking, and therefore my steps go down during this time of year, blah blah. And so she's attaching good weather to her actually getting her steps in. For me, it's often like, if I'm going to get my cardio in, I need to or I prefer to attach it to something that I enjoy, such as stick fighting. So going to the stick fighting class, I know that I'm going to get a good cardio workout out of that, and it's easy for me to go there, and it's hard and all of that stuff, but I really, really enjoy it. So today, when I decided not to do the stick fighting class, I need to be able to not have that really strong attachment to the stick fighting class, so that my cardio training is not actually happening. And you see that a lot in the gym as well, where you go into the gym and you know that you're going to do legs, and you always do your leg press, say. And then there's a lot of people at the gym, and the leg press is literally taken the whole time that you're there. And then you walk away and you might feel like disappointed, or like you feel like you haven't achieved enough, or you feel that or what has actually happened is that you skipped some stuff because you were not flexible enough and able to not attach to the leg press enough for you to go, okay, the leg press is taken today, what else can I do? Instead, you kind of just not doing any, you don't do anything. So that sort of situation can also happen. And so I think it's really important that we have this at the back of our heads to make sure that we are not letting this attachment to certain things, equipment, weather, schedules, setups, environment, people around you, like anything like that, that is, and letting that stop you. You really need to work on finding different ways to still get the training in that you want to be able to do to actually get where you want to go. And that's the really important thing. So that's my thoughts around the attachment to different things that might hinder you from doing and continuing to be consistent with your training. So I would love to hear your thoughts on this. So please put them in the comments and let's discuss. I also want to say that if you have noticed that I've got a black eye, everything is good at home. I just managed to whack myself with the stick at stick fighting class and I'm all good. It doesn't hurt very much or anything like that, but at least I wanted to mention it if you did notice.